Good morning, everybody. I feel amazing, and if you were at the Challah bake last night, oh my goodness, you must be feeling amazing too. I told my daughter I feel like it's the day after Purim and the day after Yom Kippur all at once, like the cleansing of Yom Kippur and the fun and freedom of Purim. It was the most unbelievable experience, hands down, ever. Okay, I'm gonna walk you through what happened beforehand, and then at the show. Beforehand we started out our event with 8 people on a Facebook event. Who knew about it? Nothing. A couple of women got together. We said we gotta let people know about this. So we did even the barest amount of marketing. In a day there was 90 people, and then more, and then more, and then more. When it was done, we had to ask our local JCC, please could you close your gym for us, because we don't need a room for 100, we need a room for 400. And then we said, I'm sorry, but we don't need a room for 400, we really need both gyms. And they were so kind, and they gave us both gyms, and that made 800. But we didn't expect that around 12, some say 1,300 people were there that night. 1,300 women and girls in one room. The decor committee was unreal. We had people dressed as bubbies to add like a little traditional warmth, and they were so funny with their curly wigs. We had a beautiful band, Ayelet HaShachar, play, and just to have like, Torah observant female vocalists of that caliber was so exciting to have them there. Our DJ rocked the house. And you know what? I didn't know how the event would go. I knew that making challah is powerful. I knew that it's prayerful. I knew that. But I didn't know how joyful it would be. Had a great gift that these little 4-year-old girls, they couldn't attend the event. They were in the preschool in the JCC, so they were right there. Before we began, I said, hey, you want to come in? Just, so they could look around. Their father was waiting outside. And they wanted to dance. And the music was amazing, so for sure we wanted to dance. And that set the tone of the evening. We started it out by dancing. And literally, we erupted in song and dance just about every 10 minutes in the program. A few highlights of the evening, oh my goodness. Well, that was one highlight, tremendous highlight, was all that singing and dancing and getting people loose, It's like there's something called a prayer, and a prayer has wings, and it's got to travel, until it gets to the holy throne. But when you have joy, when you have simcha, there's a special Hebrew saying, simcha poretz geder. Joy bursts through all boundaries, and that's what happened that night. The whole thing was like one gigantic prayer of joy, and all boundaries were burst. I mean, seriously, we had people who were observant and non-observant leading tables. People who never would have schmoozed were schmoozing together. We all know that all the divisions are just silly, just whatever, what we're used to. In that room, we remembered that we are one. Everything melted away. If I could change one thing, I really wouldn't change anything. But maybe I would have taken that moment to say, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. That's because we didn't even need to say that. That's what the whole evening said. We were in 2 gyms, and we had to simulcast from one gym to the other, and there was no division between gyms. Everyone had a good time. At the beginning, I thought, oh, the second room's not going to have so much fun. They had an awesome leader, and it wasn't just her. It was the intimacy that was within their group. Unbelievable. So there we were. An amazing thing happened. There was an 88-year-old Holocaust survivor. She was there, and I put in a bid for reaching out to your fellow Jew, because how did we meet her? How did she come here? I was in the supermarket handing out cards, and I saw this lovely bubby and her granddaughter, and I ran over to them and I said, wait, I have an invitation for you. And the girl said, Bubby, it's a challah. And Bubby spoke Yiddish, and the girl, it was so cute. And the girl says to me, I know the bracha hamotzi lechem min haaretz. I'm like, you're right, you're on the ball. And there they were at the challah bake, and she came up and she spoke about what it was like in the camps, and it wasn't heavy. It was important. It was just important that she witnessed it, and that we realized that Am Yisrael Chai, our nation is alive, and we're together. There are so many things that you could say about challah, but there's nothing like making it and preparing for Shabbos together. The mitzvah spoke to the hearts. I had so much fun. It was just like singing and dancing and kneading the dough, and the children. Someone said we should have done like 11 and above. They said beforehand, oh, it should, it would be too chaotic with the little kids. The children were so sweet, and they brought out the mother in everyone, and all their little voices. We said, raise your hand if you're a child, and you hear the little beautiful voices of children saying, me. And they were a part of it in a real way. They weren't a nuisance. They were the link in the chain, all the way from Frida, who was in the concentration camps, to the other bubbies. Someone came over to me afterwards, I'm from Czechoslovakia, maybe Frida knew my family. And then the next generation, and the next, down to the littlest 5-year-old girl. We're there preparing for Shabbos together. I have chills. It was inspirational, it was fun, we are grateful, unprecedented that so many different kinds of Jews came together for a mitzvah. I finally get what South Africa feels. We can't wait to do it again. People are saying, like, how about next week? Not next week, but we are going to do this again, God willing. And in the meantime, we are going to go home today, prepare for Shabbos, and it's going to be an entirely new experience. At whatever level you're keeping Shabbos, I know that having those challahs that you made with all that joy and intention and mitzvah, they are going to add so much to your Shabbos table. And I want to thank the Shabbos Project for bringing this idea to us. I said to my husband, they let us know that it's possible. No one would have dreamed it. They let us know it's possible. And sometimes that's all it takes to make something incredible happen, is believing in it. Have a very good Shabbos, everyone. Mwah. To the whole South African community for being who you are and having the kind of achdus that was so strong that it sent ripple effects to the entire world. And here in Baltimore, we are grateful and we are keeping Shabbos.